Hello, I'm Burt Green. This is the Burt Locker, and this week's Burt Locker is an MMA show usually, but I also discuss other things if you want to have a look at the channel. Anyway, this one in particular is a casual guide to UFC Paris coming our way this weekend. The purpose of this video is to give you information on every single fight, every single fighter, up and down the cards, from the prelims all the way up to the main event. I get this wrapped up in around 15 to 20 minutes, so because you've got stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? People have lives, right? You haven't got 2.5 hours to sit and watch a fight card preview show. You just want to get the cliff notes, right? Well, this is the video for you. So stay with me for the Burt Locker Casuals Guide to UFC Paris. We're starting off in the bantamweight division. We've got Farid Basharat against Clayton Rodriguez. Now 5'8", plays 5'5", with a 4-inch reach for Basharat. Basharat is an undefeated guy out of Afghanistan. He's got quite good striking. He's quite long for the division as well. He beat Blackshear, who I rate quite highly, honestly. He's got a very good work rate. He's also got very good submissions. Rodriguez is smaller, but I'd say he's a little bit more powerful. He's coming out of Brazil. He strikes really well once on the inside. I'm not sure if he's going to get inside against Basharat, though. That's going to be the challenge for him. Basharat is he's undefeated for a reason. Give him the reach advantage, and I think he's going to outwork his opponent to a decision. Then you've got Angie Lusa. I don't know how to pronounce that. I do apologise. He's from the Congo. 9-3. Reese McKee, 10-4, from Ireland, 170-pound welterweight division. 5'10", plays 6'2", with a 4-inch reach for McKee. Now, Lusa is a monster. I don't know how he gets down to 170, honestly. But I bet he's all power and no gas. His stamina bar probably drains quicker than my bank account on Amazon Prime Day. Good Lord. He's going to be that kind of fighter, isn't he? He clearly hits hard. He's got 5 knockouts out of 9 wins. Very big, very physical. Now, Reese McKee is proof that, you don't have to have shit chest tattoos if you're going to be a UFC fighter out of Ireland, but it probably does help. It's another terrible one. Come on, guys. He's got good kickboxing, though. 10 knockouts on his record out of 13. He's quite long. He's called Skeletor. That's his nickname. I like him. He seems good. Look, Lusa, he's going to look very scary early. He's probably going to fade fast, and that's where McKee's likely going to pick him apart and get the knockout. Then you've got Nora Cornoli taking on Jocelyn Edwards from Panama, 135-pound ladies. Cornoli has been good on the French regionals, 6 wins, 6 finishes, good boxing, tends to get a lot more knockouts with the old hands and elbows. Edwards, fighting out Panama, quite long, uses it well, usually gets decision wins. She's a little bit unremarkable, if I'm being totally honest. I will roll the dice on the debutante by knockout for no reason at all, really, other than I want to see it happen. Now, then you've got Zara Fan taking on Jacqueline Cavalcante from Brazil. Another 135-pound ladies. So bantamweights, you've got Fan. She's had a rough run in the UFC. All losses so far. On the regionals, she was okay, but then she hit the UFC and she turned into just a punching bag, honestly. Cavalcante, she's never been in the UFC, but she's done all right on the regionals. She's got good knees and good elbows. Look, you know what? You don't get an easier debut fight in the UFC than Fan, with the greatest of respect. I'm going to take Cavalcante by KO in that one. Taylor Lapilis taking on Muin Gufarov from Tajikistan, 135-pounders. Lapilis is 8-3, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good all-rounder. Now, Gafarov, he's a Sambo killer from Tajikistan. He's a monster. 18 wins, 17 finishes. Scary ground and pound, great submissions. Gufarov by whatever the hell he wants. That's how that fight's going, in my opinion. And you've got Morgan Charrier taking on Manolo Zecchini. You've got France versus Italy, 145-pounders. So Morgan Charrier, the last pirate. Too many fighters are called the last samurai these days. That's or the last shogun or the last ninja. I like this one. He's the last pirate. Yar! He's getting in there. It's just. Anyways, he's been pretty good in Cage Warriors. He's got pretty good striking. Zecchini, 8 out of 11 by knockout. He got a flying knee in his last fight, so we know he likes to strike. France versus Italy. I'm taking the home field advantage in this one. I'm taking the last pirate by knockout, provided he can keep his one good eye on him, So that's terrible. Awful. I apologise. Anyway, That was the prelims. We're going to move on to the main card. If you're enjoying this content, just hit subscribe, bell notification as well, because it lets you know when all the content is dropping. I usually do fight previews for every fights every week. I do wrap-up shows. I do terrible bets. It's all good fun. It's a good laugh. So hit subscribe. Yanis Gemori is going to take on Caolan Loughran. Now, I don't know how to say his name, but I've seen this dude in Ireland before. Ireland versus France. Now, Gemori's fighting out of Lyon. He's the Desert Warrior. That's what he's, or the Dessert Warrior. Can't tell which one. I wonder what his favourite dessert is. Probably shouldn't spend too much time dwelling on that. He's fairly well-rounded. He's only got one loss, but he's not really fought anybody with the greatest of respect. Now, Loughran is a monster out of Ireland. Muscles on top of muscles. I don't know how he makes 135 pounds. He fought a mate of mine in Cage Warriors, and this person actually said it was like punching a stack of tyres. He's that solid. Like, is he all natural? I don't know. Let's see what it looks like under USADA is all I would say. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that his physique is, I don't know if it passes the sniff test. He's so big and so strong. Either, look, you know, if he is all natch, fair play to him, you know, and as long as he can avoid the tests, then, you know, crack on. But he's an absolute beast. He's coming off 4 second-round knockouts in a row in Cage Warriors. I think Loughran's going to walk this if he's, you know, the same as we've seen in Cage Warriors with the, you know, but that remains to be seen. William Gomes then takes on Lucal Almeida in the 145-pound division. You've got Gomes, the Jaguar. He's very good. He uses kickboxing well, good footwork. He's quite rangy. Now, Almeida is much more powerful. Looking at it, he's got a very good knockout rate. He's got an excellent guillotine as well. Watch out for that one. I'm going to take the Brazilian in this one. Maybe by guillotine, actually. That's probably what I'm going to put money on, just because I like to keep those odds long. It would never happen. Volkan Ozdemir taking on Bogdan Guskov. 205-pound division. Ozdemir 18-7, Guskov 14-2. 6'2", plays 6'2", no idea on the reach, honestly. Now, Ozdemir, no time. He used to be on the rise, like he used to be like a pretty big deal, but he's not been the same since he got battered by DC in his only ever title fight. Since then, he's gone 3-8, which isn't good, and only one of those was a knockout, and since that was what he was famed for, it's a kind of problem that he seems to have lost that power. What happened to that no-time knockout power? I don't know. Anyway, Bogdan Guskov, he is an absolute monster out of Uzbekistan, all right? 14 wins, 14 finishes, 12 KOs. He just ragdolls people and batters them. He's a real problem. I think Ozdemir, as much as I like Ozdemir, I think he's being fed to the Uzbekistani monster here. I think the monster from Uzbekistan is going to feast like a mantis. Yeah, but maybe that's a good nick. Maybe if Guskov hasn't got a nickname yet, maybe they could call him the Mantis. I don't know. Get in touch with his people. Benoit Saint Denis then takes on Thiago Moises. The 155-pound division. So you got the Frenchman taking on the Brazilian. 11-1 for Denise and 17-6 for Moises. 5'11", plays 5'9", 2.5-inch reach for Benoit. Now Benoit Saint Denis, he is a French Special Forces submission monster. What else can you say? Former Special Forces. I think he's a full-time mixed martial artist now. Either way, he's a savage. Love this dude. He's got good stand-up because he's just so unbelievably tough, but his grappling is really his next level because he's so strong. He is ridiculous. I absolutely love him. Brilliant fighting style as well. Always exciting. Keep an eye on Benoit Saint Denis. Thiago Moises is a monstrous Brazilian black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt from Brazil as well. That's why I got tripped up with my words there. His submissions are nasty. His stand-up isn't bad. Honestly, both of these guys have a very similar kind of skill set and quite a similar style as well, to be fair. On paper, this could be fight of the night for me. I think this has got fun written all over it. Really looking forward to it. Now, I'm going to take the hometown guy here only because, look, I'm a huge fan of Benoit Saint Denis. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of Thiago Moises, but Benoit Saint Denis, there's something about his style that I just find absolutely brilliant. So, and also just like his story, ex-French Special Forces, just a hard guy. And that's why I'm picking him. I am biased, so just to let you know, there's a bias on that pick. I'm going to take Saint Denis by submission in that one. Sorry. Manon Fiorot takes on Rose Namajunas, 125-pound division. The first fight, 125 for Namajunas, I believe. So you've got Manon Fiorot, 10-1, taking on Namajunas. Now, 5'7" plays 5'5". They're both 65-inch reach. Now, Fiore, is it Fiorot? Fioro. I'm going to call her Fioro. Fioro, she's better than you think, right? She's only got one loss, which was her very first fight. She's very well-rounded. Her kickboxing is really good, and she's beat some really good people. Tabitha Ricci, Caitlin Chukagian, those are some big names in that division. And you might not know who Fioro is right now, but she is extremely good. You're probably going to know her name after this weekend. Now, Namajunas, we all know her, former champ, bit mental, disturbing relationship with Pat Barry aside, she has fantastic kickboxing and she's got very, very sharp kicks. Now, I quite like the French woman here. Rose is coming off that terrible fight with Esparza. Fiorot, she's flying under the radar, but she's really, really good. You might be able to get some good odds on Fiorot by decision. That'd be my pick on that one. Then you've got the main event of the evening, Cyril Gane taking on Sergey Spivak. You've got 11-2 for Gane, 16-3 for the man from Moldova. 265-pound division. 65-pound division, could you imagine that? Good Lord. What would that be, rooster weight? I don't even know. Anyway, 6'4" plays 6'3" with a 3-inch reach for Gane. Now, Gane is a monster on the feet. We've seen that. His footwork is insane. He's so fast that he makes people scared. Like you saw what he did to Volkov and a few others. Like Tai Tuivasa, he got into a firefight with Tai Tuivasa and came out on top of that. That's very interesting. He's got toughness to him. His striking is incredible. Incredible. Probably one of the best technical strikers that the heavyweight division has ever seen. He's that good. However, has the blueprint to beating him been written? We saw Ngannou shoot takedowns and win in that way. We saw Jones shoot down and take him and submit him very, very easily. Has Gane addressed those problems? That's really going to be the issue here. Now, Spivak, he's on quite a run. He's quietly putting together a run of form against some top guys, particularly the way that he ragdolled Lewis and just took him out with that head and arm trial. And I thought that he might do that because he did the similar thing to Tai Tuivasa, if I remember correctly. I'm going from memory there. That could be wrong, but in my head he did the same thing to Tuivasa that he did to Derek Lewis, vice versa. Anyway, he's more of a body lock, almost a Greco-Roman grappling style. He likes to get to the body lock and then drag his opponents down to the ground, and once he's there, his ground and pound, like mixed with his submissions, are really very high level. Once he gets you to the ground, he's a real problem. So this is going to be a difficult one. So Gane, look, he got dominated by Jones, but let's be fair, Spivak hasn't quite got that same style. He's not going to shoot in for like a power double. He's going to use the body lock. Now, if Gane can just stop that body lock and keep his distance and keep away from him and stop those takedowns, then he's probably going to get the knockout here, because I think standing, look, every round starts standing. And standing on the feet, I don't think it's going to be that close. I think that Spivak is going to get pieced up if it stays on the feet. But I mean, all it takes is that Spivak has shown he's got fantastic body locks, great takedowns, great trips. So once he gets it there, he's a savage. So it's a tough one to call. I am going to roll the dice on Cyril Gane to get one back in the win column here. I think that certainly, the grappling, he knows that people are going to be trying to grapple him now. Surely he has been looking to address that issue. And if it stays standing, Cyril Gane beats just about anybody on the planet if it stays standing. So it's an interesting fight, very, very interesting. It definitely has good implications for the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall will be sitting front row, I would imagine, because we're going to be seeing him fight the winner. And yeah, it just sets up the heavyweight division really nicely for some big fights later on this year, early next year. So I'm going to be reviewing all these picks next week. I'm going to be doing some terrible bets on Saturday morning. I like to just do some terrible accumulators, do an MMA scratch card where I pick every single fight up and down and see what kind of odds I get on that. But until next time, keep those odds long and those bets terrible.